So there's this small YouTube channel named Dhar Mann, and lately I've been centralizing my videos a little bit more, so I can make my title a little bit smaller and thus more attractive, but also because I kind of feel like it's much more organized and coherent. Making an argument organized is much more attractive and thus more effective and gets my point across more efficiently. So why not centralize my videos since there's so many reasons why I think Dhar Mann is messed up. But anyways, today we're going to be talking about his alleged ableism. In short, the way he presents mental illnesses is at the very least suboptimal. Almost all of the videos he has been making on disabilities are kind of just big allegories for what he thinks about mental illnesses, or illnesses in general actually. We're going to be getting into cancer a little bit actually. And it's really unfortunate that he's been doing the things he's been doing. But I kind of feel like life lesson channels in general are kind of unsustainable because you're just trying to spread these life lessons that don't really work in the real world. And that's what Dhar Mann does a lot. But of course, I'm no psychologist or lawyer or any professional. I'm just a stupid high schooler who goes on yap sessions for the sake of going on yap sessions. I just talk whenever I want to talk, just because I kind of feel like it. Now, with that being said, we have quite a bit to go over, so let's begin. I talked about how Dhar Mann presents autism and how he kind of just presents it in a really condescending way. Well, now I realize I'm wrong. He barely presents it at all. In Dhar Mann's most popular video, Kid Makes Fun of Boy with Autism, the kid never really exhibits any symptoms of autism. According to my University of Google degree, people with autism exhibit symptoms like struggling to communicate, unusual behaviors like inability to control or contain some emotions, delayed development, aka acting younger than your age, and symptoms someone with ADHD would exhibit. Now, keep in mind I'm no doctor, but I kind of feel like Dhar Mann's just presenting a normal kid in this skit. And the way he says autism is a different ability is just so condescending, because he never really shows the real struggles people with actual autism go through because of the symptoms they exhibit, but rather he writes them in as bullies, just bullying the kid for having autism, which are two separate things. In case you're on like 2 hours of sleep and can't really comprehend what I'm saying, basically Dhar Mann's bullies he writes in are simply bullying the kid for having autism, which isn't a very realistic thing. However, ideally, the bullies would bully him because of the symptoms he exhibits. For example, whenever the kid is going through an emotional outburst because the kid has the inability to control or contain emotions, that's when the bully kicks in and goes like, haha, loser, you're such a weirdo, you do X, Y, and Z because you can't even control your emotions, what a little kid. Kind of things like that. And I do acknowledge that this does happen in the real world where people discriminate against people simply because they have autism. Like when hiring, whenever they see, oh, they have autism on their resume, immediately throw that out there. Like things like that. I understand that happens. However, writing it in this way is not a really efficient way to write in bullies against autism because it just seems more unrealistic. More people don't go through that, which this causes it to resonate less with the audience. And it's also because I used to be that bully. I'm not afraid to admit I used to make fun of people because they may or may not have had a mental illness. But eventually, through growing up, I realized that's fucked up because it's not something they asked for. They're simply trying their best to adapt given the situation they're in. And I can't be doing that. But the way I learned was that it's not their personality and who they were that were being weird and creepy and whatever deplorable insults I threw at the time. It's just not who they are. It's the symptoms themselves that keep them from doing the things they do, and I needed to stop making fun of them for that. And also, the reason why I'm mentioning this is because, I have experience in this. I don't go out of my way, oh, they have autism, oh, what a loser, I actually, I do make fun of people for being weird, or at least I used to. I don't know if I think I still do now, but I'm trying to cut back on that less. I don't know if I am or not. I don't know, that's up to my friends to decide, but it's just, I make fun of them for the symptoms, not just because they have autism. That makes no sense. There's no reason to do that. Like, if they have autism, all right, great. Like, I don't care if whatever label they have, but if they exhibit the symptoms, that's when I start bullying people, and that's when I should probably stop once I learn that they have that and they can't control it. And that's coming from a guy who's speaking from experience. This is coming from the guy who Dhar Mann is trying to write in his skits. And yeah, although I still tend to be a little bit more biased towards people who have mental illnesses, once I learn they do have it, I try my best to stop it immediately, because that's not something I should be doing. That's called character development, Dhar Mann. But Dhar Mann's just going against that completely, which leads me to believe that he doesn't really care about the mental struggles people go through when they have autism. He just cares about the label that he can make money off of, because he doesn't portray them properly. And with that being said, that's just diving into the autism parts a little bit more. I want to focus on how he doesn't acknowledge the spectrum at all, and that Dhar Mann is just, Dhar Mann thinks that autism is just one single thing. Initially, that wouldn't really seem like a major problem. He probably just doesn't know it's a spectrum, which A, that's a goddamn lie. Dhar Mann has definitely heard of the insult on the spectrum before. There's no shot. And B, if he's gonna make a video about something as emotional as mental disabilities, he better damn well do his research. But going back to the spectrum thing, he never really accounts for the spectrum. He stereotypes autistic people to just be unlovable people, and apparently they're always messing things up and not wanted and whatever gobbledygook he talks about. It's really insulting. And not only that, of course, each video has the Dhar Mann special, where the bully learns nothing because they learn that the autistic people are actually very easy to use and very easy to manipulate. So they shouldn't even be mentioned because they can be useful later on. Good fucking going, Dhar Mann. You spread really okay messages with really maybe allegedly really bad intentions with really bad execution, which isn't really a new thing. Even in other topics like racism and sexism, he allegedly spreads these messages in really insincere and superficial ways, but also in a way where all he really thinks about is the money aspect of it. It's really tragic, and this is a side tangent, so skip to here. There's this one really simple solution that he can take. Just make the skits more realistic and stop making the victim have this extremely unrealistic glow up or rise to fame or whatever. In fact, you were really close at one point. However, your greed just overtook your your opportunity to finally break the cycle for once. In the video called Cheerleaders Don't Know Nerdist Legend, he was very much closer than his other videos in terms of preaching acceptance. The girl was just about to be accepted into society, was very close to the final stage of the hero's journey or whatever, where it's return to the normal world or something, I don't know. But he's very close to it at one point. But the girl was about to be returning to the quote unquote normal world until the TikTok star shows up. And that's the part that really irks me, because he was so close to preaching acceptance, but then the bullies had to come over and go hey, we want to be friends with you just because you're with this TikTok star. It's very obvious, when they go up to the girl, they never even apologize, or I think they apologize, I don't remember, but they were so close, but then they just had to ask that question, hey, can we be friends with you just because you know this one person? And then the girl finally gets to say no, and it builds up like a drug PSA commercial. It literally looks like a vaping PSA commercial where they have all this dramatic scenery, and then it all leads up just to that one main character to say no, and that's literally it. They're building it up just to say that one 2-letter word, and I never understand why those drug PSA commercials never, sometimes. Half the time they do, half the time they don't, I don't know. But anyways, he was so close. He was so close to doing it, but, he just had to ruin it, of course. He just had to ruin it. A decent portion of your videos carry this exact stereotype that cancer patients are ugly because they're bald and no one loves them and they need to be outcasted from society. And it's kind of weird too. Out of these 7 videos he's made on cancer awareness, 5 of them are this exact premise where the person either gets bullied for having cancer or being bullied because someone they know has cancer. Pretty alarming statistic, but the way he writes it in is even worse. The plot holes are actually pretty telling of what Dhar Mann thinks of cancer. For example, in the video Sick Kid Bullied for Being Bald or something like that. I just had a stroke reading that. It turns out that the kid's bully died of cancer, or the kid's dad bullied of cancer. Yet he's still making fun of the kid for having cancer. So there's really no reason for the kid to be bullying other people for having cancer. And it makes no sense. No one would ever really do that. Like, not like, I don't remember a single time where someone had cancer and people would make fun of them for having cancer just because they were bald. That's just a really weird thing to do. And overall, it kind of gives off the feeling that Dhar Mann's just using cancer as these lucky blocks to power up his channel. Also, I want to remind everyone that he also took a kid out to prom in one of his skits. Yeah, just a little friendly reminder. And yeah, that's about it. There's only 2 sections here today because I kind of went on that really long tangent about his autism video, so I kind of wanted to shorten the video a little bit. But overall, I think that Dhar Mann is allegedly ableist because he portrays autism in harmful ways and stereotypes autistic people as these unwanted social outcasts, doesn't even properly portray an autistic person's struggles and symptoms correctly, and doesn't even present a good life lesson. He also allegedly makes these pretty bad videos on cancer, portraying cancer patients as these ugly little goblins that no one really likes unless they're cool and does favors for them. That's all I really have to say. I kind of do think that some of these points are a stretch, but I just really hate the way Dhar Mann tries to create these life lessons. It's just really horrible quality overall and really bad execution. And it's his entire brand, and I have the right to criticize what made him successful in the first place. Dhar Mann lovers, roll in your graves because these videos are gonna keep coming anyways, or at least until, like, you know, I get to like 100k subs or something. I don't know. But I'll try to branch out Dhar Mann content. I'll cover other life lesson channels and go on other tangents every now and then. I still don't want to hop on the Mr. Beast train ride because I kind of feel like it's gonna crash eventually. It's just really unsustainable. And I also do have a really good video idea, maybe, but I kind of want all of you who are still watching. By the way, to everyone who's still watching, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I do have a video idea though. I'll keep it a secret between me and a friend for now, but just leave a comment below. What is the most random topic you can think of? And then I'll branch off into that. But anyways, that's about it. I hope you all had a few good takeaways from this video. I hope you all have a good day, and bye.